There's some houses that I go in and immediately I'm in a filthy mood.
This week, love and war in Buckinghamshire as two couples battle to find their perfect palace.
We find ideal homes.
I've walked in here and think, let's put an offer in now. I love it.
I love this house.
I'm at the stage I'm actually imagining our furniture in here.
Way to go. Winner. We're in there.
But then we find ourselves in the doghouse.
I don't love this house enough.
It's not, I don't care how much it is, I have to have it.
If I was going to be very difficult about it.
I don't want you to be very difficult, so please don't try.
When you're looking for a place to house a young family, Buckinghamshire's bang on.
This week, we're house hunting for two couples with children. Andrew and Emma want to be near family and good schools.
And Anna-Marie and Shane found that the luck of the Irish hasn't helped them find their dream pad.
Just a stone's throw from London, Buckinghamshire is the area of choice this week as our two couples attempt to combine high-flying careers in the city with the peace and quiet of small-town life in order to bring up their young families.
But they're not alone. With great transport links, famously good schools and quiet countryside living, Buckinghamshire's not exactly a well-kept secret, especially amongst London city types with cash to splash.
Despite two healthy budgets, I suspect finding a property to suit our house hunters may cause us a few headaches.
Shane and Anna-Marie Mugan originally hail from the Emerald Isle, but moved over to England's green and pleasant land.
We left Ireland because originally I got a great job offer in the UK. That was a career opportunity I couldn't turn down. I didn't want to leave without Anne-Marie coming with me. So we got engaged on Christmas Day and we left about 4 or 5 days later and here we are.
2 years ago, they started renting in Buckinghamshire with their two boys, Charlie and William.
I think it's really good for our children to be here because it's countryside. I grew up in the countryside and I turned out okay. And it's a lovely area to live in and it's somewhere we'd like to stay around.
With an easy commute to his work in London and the appeal of great schools for their boys, they're enjoying the quality of country life that Buckinghamshire is giving them and have decided to stay put.
Buying a house, it's important in terms of us getting established. It doesn't feel like we've really put down roots here.
Sick of pouring money down the drain in rent, they want their own home. In the 18 months they've been looking, they've seen over 50 properties, so why on earth haven't they found their dream home? Time to get to the bottom of it.
You've looked at 50 houses. That is a huge number.
When you go to view it, there's 4 other people also fighting for the same property. So it's proved impossible to get what you want.
I think I think in a way it's helped us to look for so long because we're more sure about what we want now.
Okay.
We know the things we can compromise on and we know the things that we definitely don't want to compromise on.
OK, let's talk about it. What don't you want to compromise on?
Be garden size. And that's really come out a lot in the last kind of few weeks, really. We're really pro kind of fresh air for the boys and we like to have them outside as much as possible.
We don't mind taking on a property that is not perfect right now, but there's room or scope to do things to it.
Our wish list would include at least 4 bedrooms, preferably 2 en suite.
Room for a swimming pool?
And a pony.
With that list of demands, it's no wonder they haven't found anywhere yet.
What does that mean for Anna-Marie and Shane?
For 850 grand, the house must have 4 or 5 bedrooms with 3 reception rooms.
It has to be detached with the ability to add value.
And it must have a garden. A big one.
Our other couple, Emma and Andrew Jarvis, sold their property last year and resorted to drastic measures.
We sold our house a couple of months ago and we're now living with Emma's parents and we'd like to find a place for ourselves.
We're starting to get a bit on top of each other, so we do need our own space.
But Andrew's a city boy, so why the Shires?
The main reason why we're moving is for the school system in Buckinghamshire. It's very good, and although Charlie's only 2 at the moment, this house that we're buying now is a lifetime house.
They've also been searching forever with no luck.
We've been looking for a new property for about 18 months. We've viewed maybe 5 properties. So, yeah, we're really desperate now. We need some help.
Go gently on them, Kirstie.
Don't worry, Phil. I'll be very careful.
Stand back, Buckinghamshire. She's going to blow.
You are now living with your mum, Emma, and you have been looking for 18 months.
We have.
And you have seen 5 properties in that space of time,
Yes.
Yeah.
which, frankly, is pathetic.
Yep.
The reason it's not good is very simple. It's only likely that per month, one house which fits your criteria is going to become available. And that's a very generous interpretation. And if you're not in there schmoozing the estate agents, you're never even going to know. It's going to be on and off before you know what's happened.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We haven't seen enough properties. We've sat in the comfort of our home and looked on the internet.
Remind me again, your main requirements.
Looking for preferably 4-bed, but we would consider 3 beds. Preferably 3 reception rooms and obviously a good-sized garden.
Over and above all of that, we've got to be happy.
Yes, yeah. And I think what makes that is very unquantifiable, but you don't find it by looking on the internet.
No.
You tell them, Kirstie. I don't know how these two thought they were going to buy a house. With 625 grand to spend, top of the list for this couple is location. It must be near some good schools. They're looking for a 4-bedroom character home near Emma's family. So we're looking for 2 houses in opposite ends of Buckinghamshire.
And what a difference a few miles make.
I'm in South Buckinghamshire with Shane and Anna Marie, who are sick of pouring money down the drain by renting. They're looking for a 4-bed property with a large garden and the ability to add value, all for £850,000.
And I'm with Andrew and Emma, who are feeling that living with Emma's parents is a little claustrophobic. With 200 grand less, they want 4 beds, a decent garden near a good school in North Buckinghamshire. I smell double trouble.
I've been searching high and low.
Are you concerned?
Yes, because I'm working on this kind of Venn diagram like at school. You know, there's one circle which is being close to the mum, another circle which is the schools, another circle which is the garden sites, and there's this teeny-weeny little spot in the middle which might just be the right house.
OK. Well, my guys have been out and seen so much, and they've refused so much. I get the impression that Shane is looking for a deal. He's more concentrated, more focused on the deal than he is the house.
Just tell him, you're the deal maker, you'll decide whether it's the right price or the wrong price, and he can shove that in his pipe and smoke it.
I'll let him know you said that.
Well, I'm going to add another few properties to Shane and Anna Marie's list. Hopefully they're last. Starting just 30 miles from London in the Chalfonts, to the east of Buckinghamshire, which is well inside their preferred area.
As you can see, this is a cul-de-sac. What have we got? 6 houses in here. We're going to be looking at this house.
This executive house in Chalfont St Giles should suit them down to the ground. Remember that list, Kirstie? 4 beds, a couple of reception rooms and a great garden. At 900 grand, it's a chairman of the board price tag, but we should be able to negotiate it down somewhat closer to their 850 grand budget.
It's a very traditional layout. We've got double living room there, kitted out study, dining room, and through to the kitchen. So I think, in terms of a layout for a contemporary way of family living, I liked it very much.
Yes. Yeah, I'd agree, actually. It's lovely. It's really
I do, I
nice.
like it, it's lovely.
They asked for a big garden and Mr. Spencer's done his best. But do they want a ride-on mower big garden, a wedding marquee big garden, or a football pitch big garden?
From the conservatory here, we get an idea of the garden. If it was all on one level, it would feel a lot bigger.
It's not a kick a football garden, particularly. It's a hide on mummy behind the shrubs garden.
Yeah, I mean, that's the flip side. There is the chance to have a few adventures and things, because you've got trees and shrubs and places to hide from mummy.
I can see the appeal to young kids. The challenge I have is that it's smaller than I think I'd like it to be.
It's the right house on the wrong plot. The garden is just not big enough. It's not, I suppose, long enough. It's just not a football garden. I think that's going to be... It's not what I imagined the boys to be out playing in.
You do have to have an enormous garden to have a really decent football pitch. And
I know, it's not essentially a football pitch, but, you know, where would you put the pony? Or the swimming pool?
I'd forgotten about the pony, and I tried to forget about the swimming pool.
It really is the right house, and the plot's pretty good for this area.
But those aren't happy faces, Phil.
It's fantastic.
It's beautiful.
You almost sound dejected and unhappy that it's beautiful.
Ever so slightly, because it really is the right house. Again, I'm repeating myself, but the right house on the wrong plot.
The garden's that important.
Definitely.
Well, I have to say I'm a bit dejected here because the house is great, as they readily say it's great. It's also over budget at 900,000. It's not perfect, but the garden's not that bad, is it? Dearie me, I think the garden's going to haunt me.
All the properties we're showing Andrew and Emma are within catchment areas of schools they want their son to get into. And the first house we're showing them is just 5 miles from 2 of them, in Aylesbury, so it should really ring their bell.
They're looking for a 3 or 4 bed character house with a couple of reception rooms. Emma wants to be near her family, so I'm taking them to see this 19th century house in the village of Oving.
I'm so into this house for about 5,000 different reasons, all of which I will explain to you. But the number one reason is driving around this area, all the houses are much older and they're low ceilings, they're little barn conversions and they're 2 or 3 cottages knocked into one. Yeah. This is a Victorian house, it's got proper high ceilings, it's got big windows, it's got light rooms. Yes. It's really strong from that point of view.
Very good-looking house.
It's a good-looking house.
With 3 reception rooms, 3 bedrooms and a wraparound garden, this is perfect for them. It's been renovated and redecorated throughout, and it's bang on budget at £625,000.
Now, there is a front door, but the family tend to use this door. Okay. So what you've got here is, through there's a little playroom, downstairs bathroom, and then you've got big family kitchen.
It's beautiful.
And through here, you can either use that as a study or, again, an area for toys.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's really nice.
It is really beautiful.
It's been really nicely done. And the thing I love about it is it's perfect for boys because it's got this easily clean floor.
Yeah.
You've got your playroom. You've got a downstairs bathroom with room for a changing mat.
Oh,
so you know that thing when you've got a small one, a toddler and a baby. You don't want to traipse upstairs. You know, there's a loo down there when you're potty training. It sounds really silly, but you know, I said there are 1,000 reasons I like this house. Yeah. They're all quite small and simple.
But they make a difference to your everyday life.
And they're not things, I mean, you're not going to put that on your list. Now, nearly everything in this house is beautifully laid out, with the exception of this room. Beyond that sofa is about 3 foot.
Yeah.
And because of the television being there, they've put that little chaise longue there. Well, you need to put that chaise longue in the window, the big sofa there.
It's a room that works.
It's a lovely light room.
Yeah.
Love the bay window. It's lovely.
Everything's joined together very well.
Yeah, it flows.
It flows.
I mean, I do believe in feng shui. There are some houses that, and Phil will tell you, I go in and immediately I'm in a filthy mood. Something
brings
is
you down.
wrong. And then sometimes I go into a house and I think, you know what? I'd move into here very happily. I can see how my life, my family would work.
Yeah.
And everyone would pop into their little slots really happily.
It's not just feng shui that puts you in a bad mood, Allsopp.
You haven't asked me about the price.
No, we haven't.
It's on at 625. Filled with horror?
No.
No?
No, not at
No,
all.
not at all.
Right, okie dokie. Do you want to see the rest?
Please.
Okie dokie. Oh, this is going very well.
A bit too well, Kirstie. They've seen about 5 other properties, so I wouldn't get the contract out just yet.
So what you've got up here, you've got 2 really big bedrooms like this, a third perfectly respectable double room. And then downstairs, if you want to put a sofa bed in the playroom off the kitchen, that's got the ensuite bathroom, because if you've been staying with your parents, then I think...
Only fair, isn't it, that we reciprocate.
The cynic in me thinks that this is way too early for any congratulations. But there's another part of me which thinks, way to go, winner, we're in there.
Kirstie, you know what happens when you say things like that.
I know we did say Oving was a place we'd consider, but it is one of the places that's furthest away from my family within our search area.
It is, yeah, and that was
now
quite important.
Yeah,
so.
but that could be something I could compromise on.
The distance from your mum's, I always knew was in the search criteria. It's not one we've brought up at this house.
No.
16.5 miles to Stony Stratford.
Yes, I know it doesn't sound an awful lot.
Doesn't sound a lot in the country. I don't want to dismiss your fears.
No, but if there was an equally nice property a bit closer, I'd be even happier.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to discount this property.
All I can say is it's a testament to the niceness of your parents that after living with them for over 2 months, you are still keen to be within shouting distance.
They probably would like us to be as far away as possible.
So are we walking away from this house saying that it's a maybe?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I've pleased Andrew and Emma. Is the luck of the Irish rubbing off on you, Phil?
I wish it was, but our house search hasn't exactly blossomed yet. Shane and Anna-Marie felt the first house we looked at didn't have a big enough garden. So I'm taking them to a place 5 minutes away which has the biggest one we've seen on our entire search.
Knowing that the garden was really the key issue for the first house, I thought I nailed it with this house.
Yeah, you have.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
It's 300 foot long.
Wow.
It's by some distance the best garden that we found. So there really is room for a pool, a football pitch. I don't know if you get a pony in, but you know, it goes right as far back as you can see.
Wow. OK.
This country house in Chalfont St Peter will really test Shane and Anna-Marie. It may have a huge garden, but the price they'll pay for that in this area is a house that needs serious work. It has views of fields and woodland and could be perfect for them, with 4 small bedrooms, 2 receptions and a large kitchen. But to get it up to their tough standards, it'll need some major renovation. I've got a plan that might solve all their problems.
What I had thought was that you would take that garage down and build yourself a 2-storey extension to the house. So you're probably getting another third of the house.
That idea is really appealing.
It's not just the garage that needs work, but at 100 grand below budget, they've got a lot of money to play with.
It's got character, this house. It's got lots and lots of things going for it, but you are going to have to sort of roll your sleeves up and get stuck in.
Yes.
There's a lot to do, and I don't think there is even one room that you wouldn't want to do.
OK.
However, it does come in under budget. It's 750,000. Shane, you've got a big smile on your face.
I'm just seeing lots and lots of possibilities. And I think that's more exciting for me. I can, you know, as opposed to the last house, which was
Finished and done.
Finished and done, and that's it. This one, and because it's quite attractive on the budget, there's quite a lot of you know, money in the bank to still do other things, and I can see things in this house.
I think Shane is seeing pound signs in front of his eyes.
But I want to find out what's going on behind his eyes.
For me, my #1 priority is the potential, the opportunity. For me, that's kind of key, getting a good return on what you spend your money on.
When you say, for me,
I think Anne-Marie is more keen on finding a property that we don't have to do a huge amount of work to. It doesn't stop us from establishing those roots very quickly and getting connected with the community that we live within.
does it make you nervous?
Not really. I mean, I can see the potential in it, definitely. My only concern would be how long it would take and, you know, being kind of keeping that balance right, you know, of like kind of who's going to project manage it.
Will Anna-Marie be able to look past all the work to see what an amazing house this could be for the family? And will Shane be able to see how much work it would be for her?
Ideally, I imagine that we would be in a house that needed some work, as in changing the floors or painting the walls, that kind of thing. Not construction work, not full-on project.
This is a big project.
And I don't mean this in a negative sense, but it feels like hard work. This is a hard work house for me.
I can't say their reactions to this house were a massive surprise because Shane's a businessman and he was always going to be excited about the opportunity to add value. That's what he likes doing, that's what excites him. Anne-Marie, on the other hand, was also always going to be left with running the job and dealing with the sort of day-to-day aspects of that. So I think they've got a bit of thinking to do on that, a bit of decision-making.
First, it was the right house in the wrong plot. Now, it's the wrong house in the right plot. These two will need to come together and compromise over something soon, otherwise I shall lose the plot. Well, Chalfont St Peter didn't seem to work for them, so I'm taking them to the other side of Buckinghamshire, to the village of Bledlow Ridge. Property-wise, the vendors have renovated, expanded and decorated, giving the house 3 reception rooms, 5 double bedrooms and 2 ensuites, all to a high standard. With no work to do, project management phobic Anna-Marie should love this one.
The house itself is on the market at 895,000.
Wow, that's fantastic.
This is a very big house.
Okay.
No, it's super. That's beautiful.
Love that fireplace, absolutely.
Wow.
Fab.
Well, at least they're smiling.
As you can see, they've spent quite a lot of money and care and time and designing the garden, just as they've done with the house. I'm not sure that it adds to the garden in terms of it being child-friendly and room to run about.
But again, it's effectively a blank canvas. We can do so much with this. I mean, the space is good. It's a good-sized garden. It's got everything that you need.
It's a well-loved house. Well, they've finished it superbly well.
No, it's really nice, absolutely.
Tell me, what's your heart saying to you?
It's a fantastic house. In some ways, I'm slightly disappointed that it's perfect. I'm also kind of thinking, gosh, if there's only some bits and pieces we could do ourselves, that would be great.
Don't make that hard for yourself, right? You go to work to make a living. You work very, very hard.
Yeah.
And that's where you're making your money, to pay the mortgage to enable you to buy a house like this. Don't set out to make it hard.
That's nicer.
Although I might not get away with that piece of advice if Kirstie had been here.
It's done within an inch of its life, and it's been done well.
Definitely. I bet Shane's disappointed with that.
He said, yeah, I wouldn't say disappointed, because he likes the house. But I can see there's a bit of a niggle going on, if only it wasn't finished. However, he also said to me that he'd probably finish it like this, so...
Exactly,
where's the
exactly.
argument?
I actually, in looking around, and I can't actually see anything I would really change. I really like it. I'm trying to imagine, I'm at the stage I'm actually imagining our furniture in here and all the shopping I could do to buy more furniture to fill the other rooms.
That's good, that's positive.
Yes.
If I was going to be very difficult about it...
I don't want you to be very difficult, so please don't try. Let's stop while we're doing well, make me feel good.
No, I think you've done an astonishing job. I think it's, the one thing that would just do it all for me would be if the garden was very slightly bigger and I had that capacity to just add, potentially a pool or something else in the future. That would be just astonishing.
Something that we noticed searching for these houses at this kind of, under $1 million budget is the houses have been done. Anyone who's living in a very nice family house valued at $800,000 has watched the property shows, read the magazines, looked on the internet, and they're into their houses and they've finished them. So they're either completely undone and therefore an utter renovation project, or they're done. And there's very, very little in between that, up at this top end of £9 million.
Yeah. And that's becoming obvious. I mean, I think that's also something that would begin to recognise as well.
All very positive, but don't worry, we haven't finished yet. Got another one to show you. Although I'm not entirely sure that I need to show them another one. I think this is bang on, and they've compromised. Both of them have come together. It's fantastic to see.
How about family-focused Andrew and Emma? Have you found a house any nearer her parents yet?
As a matter of fact, I have. We're in Padbury, a chocolate box village that should melt their hearts. It's not all sweet, though. This house is well over budget, but there are lots of good reasons for bringing them here.
This is the jewel in our crown, guys.
This is idyllic. This is a beautiful cottage.
Gorgeous.
I really am treating them like royals today. Just a 10-mile carriage ride from Emma's parents, the cottage has 4 bedrooms, 4 reception rooms, and the crowning glory, 2 huge unconverted barns. Perfect for a growing family. All for the princely sum of £675,000. 50 grand over their budget, but it really is negotiable.
Now, budget.
Yes.
Had you seen this on the internet?
We did.
Yes.
Do you know what it's on at?
I think it was on at 675, I think.
Spot on.
That's what stopped us from coming to view it.
Yeah, but it's been on for 3 months, and the vendors have found something in a neighbouring village which they've set their heart on.
Okay.
So I think there is quite a degree of flexibility within that price, and it really, really, for you two, has a lot of the long term.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The house itself is big, but it also has these 2 amazing barns, which are the perfect place for dumping teenagers.
Oh, it's a lovely light bedroom. I love
gorgeous.
it. I love the quirky door. And a lovely view out of that window. I love the high ceilings. This is our bedroom. I love it.
It's always a hard one, this, when you take somebody to see something that's way over their budget, and then it's down to me. If they really want it, I've got to negotiate it. It's worth the extra money, and it's a really good long-term family house.
And with the current market conditions favouring the buyers, negotiating this down won't necessarily be easy, but certainly not as unrealistic as it would have been just a few months ago.
Now this is what I call a dining room.
Wow.
I absolutely adore the flagstone floor and that fireplace. You can just imagine Christmas dinners with all the family. It feels like somewhere I'd love to live.
It is a 15 to 20 year house.
Absolutely. Longer. I could see us staying here forever.
Until...
Why would we need any more space? Wow, look at the space.
Wow.
So long term.
There are lots of things we could do.
Space for boys.
And playthings.
So can you see where the extra money's being spent?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. It's the feel of the house, I think. It's been very well put together. They've made a lot of good use of the space that they've got available to them. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of space anyway to start off with.
Yeah.
I've walked in here and think, let's put an offer in now. I love it. I love the village. I love the location. There's so many things I love about it.
It's well worth it, but unless we can strike a bargain, Andrew and Emma simply don't have the budget.
We're house hunting in Buckinghamshire with two couples who are sick to the back teeth of house hunting. Unfortunately, Kirstie is just plain sick. She's taken to her bed. She's left me to handle things on my own. On the bright side, though, we have already found two houses that I'm hoping are just what the doctor's ordered.
There's Phil, stoical as ever and always looking on the bright side. My couple are in good hands. Andrew and Emma are looking for a 4-bedroom character house with a good-sized garden for £625,000. And they've liked both properties I've shown them so far.
This is the house that we've come to see.
Wow.
Genuinely stuffed full of character, built in the 1600s, built as 3 cottages.
Okay.
And now as one very lovely detached house.
Beautiful.
Phil, you're getting a good one here. After the triumph of the last cottage, I had planned to show them this quirkier one with a totally different interior. They're either going to fall in love with this one or it'll confirm how much they like the last.
Originally 3 cottages, this property in the village of Marsworth has been converted into a large 4-bedroom house with 3 reception rooms. It's a unique property, and because of that, it is hard to establish an accurate value. The vendors are looking for something in the region of 700 grand, but I reckon we could negotiate it down to suit.
There are 3 of these smallish reception rooms. So this ends up as something of a sort of passageway, hallway.
Yeah, I must admit I did think it was the hallway when we walked in. This does feel a bit claustrophobic in here.
But maybe the thing about this one as well is the previous one was finished and we could see...
No, I think this is fine. It's white walls, take away all the furniture, put your own things in. There's nothing wrong with the finish in here. I'm not offended by anything in here.
It's grade 2 listed, and that restricts things that you might wish to do to it.
Like knocking walls down.
Like knocking walls down and materially changing the characters. You can't alter any of the beams, for instance. You couldn't change the floor. There would be restrictions on extensions out the back.
That worries me a bit.
That worries me a lot, because I don't feel that there's any one room in the house that is big enough for us.
No.
This is the house that you would need to love. This is the one that you choose because you just adore the beams, the fireplace, the floor, but it means that you have to live in a certain way.
I don't love this house enough to make it the house that we would buy.
Oh, poor Phil. They were loving everything I showed them.
Not too ill to pass comment, I see. I think that's exactly the problem. They couldn't get the last property out of their heads.
Fair enough. Well, no rest for the wicked. Time you headed south again.
My other 2 house hunters, Shane and Anna-Marie, are looking for a 4-bed property with a large garden. The last one I took them to seemed to be too perfect for Shane's business brain. Nowhere to add value, apparently. So I'm taking them to an even bigger house that needs a little work.
It's not a renovation project, but it does need a bit of tidying up, tarting up.
Okay.
But the price is $1 million.
Right.
It's empty. It's been empty for quite some time. It's been owned as an investment. First thoughts, Anna-Marie?
Let's have a look.
Come on then.
Hardly a vote of confidence, Phil.
This huge house in the village of Chartridge near Chesham has 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms and 2 reception rooms. It's been on the market for quite a while, so the price tag of £1 million should be negotiable. That being said, it is relatively good value for the area, and with some tender loving care, they should be able to add even more.
This is just over 3,000 square foot, this house.
Right.
So it's massive. This is a 24-foot room as the main living room. You're not looking excited, either of you?
I don't love it instantly. Not as much as I did the house before. I'd have to see the rest of it first before I could make a proper judgment on it, but my
gut feel
is not loving it initially. It's not, oh, I don't care how much it is, I have to have it. I certainly don't have that feeling, unfortunately, which I did a little bit on the other house.
Looks like this one's not hitting the mark.
The area of land that you own isn't massive, but you do look out on open land.
It's a major compromise.
It's a big issue and it's a big compromise. I mean, it ticks quite a lot of the other boxes because you can see past what needs to be done. But I think with all that money and effort and as a house, I think you're going to end up with a property that's not going to be worth more than you're going to pay for it and spend time on. So,
and that's because of the garden?
I think so. I think this house is limited by its garden.
I don't want to drag you around a house that doesn't come up to scratch, particularly when we've seen more positive things. But if it's feeling expensive and the garden isn't up to scratch, which is absolutely on the wish list, it's a no, isn't it?
I'm afraid
I
so.
think so.
Yeah.
This one's pushing up daisies for Shane and Anna-Marie. It's my old foe, the garden.
Chin up, Phil. They love the 5-bed house.
And my luck's changed already. I'm back in the north of the county in the Chocolate Box village with Andrew and Emma, taking a second look at the cottage they fell in love with.
Good boy, Phil. Never doubted you for a moment. And it's no wonder. The property is beautiful, practical, and those barns make it a real forever family home.
Now, I have to tell you, this, I think, is my favourite house out of both searches.
Yeah, we're excited about seeing it again.
I think probably you need to use your head and you need to use your heart.
OK.
We'll swap around.
OK, we'll try.
Come on, then. Now, it's not any secret, is it, that you love this house?
No secret at all.
No.
So, what we're here to try and assess is how much you'd be prepared to pay for it. It's $675 is the asking price, and I'm sorry to say that there was a second viewing that took place on it this morning. So there is, or there may well be, some competition by the end of the day.
OK.
Don't forget, the vendors have already found somewhere they like too.
Well, this is the slightly more sort of alternative room, isn't it?
It is.
The good boys' room.
Oh, a young boy's dream bedroom, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We have thought about it, though, and originally we thought, great, young boy's bedroom, but we might actually take that out.
Take this level.
Yeah,
consider.
and make it into the main bedroom for ourselves.
Ah.
Because it's a good space.
Yeah.
At $675,000, this property is $50,000 over their $625 budget. But I agree with Kirstie, we really should be able to negotiate them down. However, only Andrew and Emma can decide their comfort level.
So how are we doing with it, Andrew?
Very well. Still looks as good.
Yeah.
Still
Love it
feeling
even
very
more.
positive.
So much space. It's just got more space than we asked for.
How would you feel about spending $675,000?
Well, I know we can't. If we had the money, I would spend that on this house because I do think it's worth it.
I love this house, but I won't do anything rash.
A very, very sensible couple, desperately trying to analyse this house in the correct way, which I do believe that they are doing. However, the sharks are circling and that other buyer, it's the second viewing. I'm worried.
The sharks are circling, but not to worry, Mr. Spencer. You're the killer whale.
Thanks very much. I'll certainly be doing my best to pull something clever out the bag to get the vendors to bite.
I'm afraid this is where it gets a bit awkward. You've got some big decisions to take, and we know that there is somebody else sniffing around that property. They haven't made an offer. They've gone home, they've said to the agent they're going to think about it and they're going to get back to him. Okay. The property is outside of your comfort zone by some distance. You can't get to the asking price. No. How are you feeling about it?
I think that we're in a strong position. I think that we're in an interesting market, and if we don't make an offer, then we'll never know whether we could have had the property or not. Gone into all the jars and all the cupboards. We found another 10,000, so we're now at 635, and that would be it.
Absolute.
That's top comfort.
Well, I think given that, because it is some distance off, we should just go in all guns blazing. This is it. We're not here to mess about, try and be clever, or negotiate. Yeah. That is the offer.
Okay.
Mark, it's Phil Spencer. Hi. We've just had a long chat about things. Well, in fact, it wasn't that long because they do want to make an offer on the property. They cannot, I'm afraid, get anywhere near the asking price. The offer, and it is their best and final offer, is £635,000. Thanks very much. Good luck. Bye-bye. It's going to come down to the other people and what they have decided to do.
They'll probably want to wait, won't they, to find out.
I would imagine so.
Made, yeah.
It's a real risk, this one, but Andrew and Emma are fantastic buyers. I hope the vendor doesn't ignore the position they're in. No chain, mortgage agreed, and a flexible moving-in date. It might just work.
Hello? Hello, Mark. OK. The 635 is the top figure. So can I just say we'll leave it on the table? All right. Well, thank you very much for your help. Much appreciated. Cheers, Mark. Bye-bye. I'm afraid it's been rejected.
OK.
That's fair enough.
They have a figure of 650,000 in their mind.
Right.
OK.
They feel they have enough interest to wait and see what everybody else wishes to do.
That's what we expected, isn't it? So not surprised at all. Disappointed, but not surprised.
It was an ambitious offer, but it's still on the table. We haven't walked away yet. Keep your fingers crossed there on your sickbed, Kirstie.
Will do. Let's hope you have a bit more luck with Shane and Anna Marie. Have they been leading you up the garden path, or are they interested in any of the properties?
The third property I took them to see was the immaculately refurbished house. From the Inglenook fireplace to the 5 colour-coordinated bedrooms, it was love at first sight. At 895 grand, it's 45,000 over budget. But even the garden won them over. They've not asked me for builders' quotes. They've not asked me to investigate the loft. They simply need to take a second look and see if it can seriously work for the family.
The gardens have been a difficult issue the whole way through the search. Yeah. Having seen all the houses that you have done and realised this is kind of what we get, are you more comfortable with accepting it?
I think it's definitely, we've looked far and wide and definitely agree that this is about as good as you're going to get.
I think you've opened our eyes to that. I think this county has surprised us. You know, even at £1 million like we saw yesterday, you don't get a lot for your money. And this is fantastic. I think the difference here is you've got countryside on both sides, both aspects of the house. And I think that transforms what you get in terms of what you see, because it gives you the illusion that you have actually a lot more space than you actually do.
A great success with the garden, but how about Shane's need to add value?
So you gradually coming to terms with the inability to add value here?
Yes. I think it's a far more practical house for our stage of life. I think with 2 young kids, I think you've pointed that out a few times. I've spoken to Anne-Marie about it quite a lot. In actual fact, this makes a lot more sense.
You look as though you're kind of more at peace.
It's the perfect setting for a lovely family, comfortable family home.
Yeah. You could at last put down roots, get to know community.
Absolutely.
Stop packing and unpacking every few months.
Just be able to decorate the rooms for the boys, that in itself would just be such a joy. Definitely.
Lots to look forward to.
Yes.
If we can get it.
It looks like they've finally decided on a house. However, at $895,000, I wonder what Shane's business brain will be saying to him now.
Looks like the time has come for you to head back into those shark-infested waters.
So how do you want to play things? What do you want to do?
I think we're going to go for it.
Do you have a figure or a particular tactic in mind, or should we sort of discuss the whys and wherefores of different tactics?
I'd like to try and get the maximum advantage we can for our position. So my sense is to try and maybe come in a bit lower and then get talked up to a certain price and see where we end up. That's my instinct.
I think you're absolutely right. It's on the market at $895,000. It's been sitting there for a couple of 3 months. However, about $25,000 of that price is probably due to the beautiful way that it's finished and presented. So if you were just looking at the bricks and mortar, you wouldn't get much. You'd get somewhere between $850 and $870, somewhere there is probably its true value.
860 is a good number. I'm thinking slightly less than that, and trying to arrive at 860 would be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, why don't we go in at 835, 840?
Our thoughts exactly.
Hello, Joey. Hi. Well, I do have an offer for you. They're living in rented in Beaconsfield at the moment and have money sitting in the bank, 100% ready to go, fully organised and committed. The full asking price is a difficult one to justify, or we've certainly struggled to justify it. The figure that we have come up with is $835,000. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. They haven't had an offer, so she hasn't had the conversation with her client. So it's a difficult one for her to gauge how they're going to react.
Well, it's started.
Yeah. Ball's in their court.
Perfect.
Hello, Phil Spencer. Hi, Jerry. Can you give me an idea of what it might have to look like? I do have instructions to increase it, but it's getting toppy, to put it mildly. But they would pay $850,000 for the house. I'll wait to hear. Thank you very much for your help. OK. Good night. Bye-bye. We're getting there.
It's good news.
Her gut feel is that he'll come back in the morning and ask for a little bit more. I think we're feeling happy.
Yes, definitely.
Well done, Phil. You're in a strong buying position, and I'll admit you're pretty talented at this.
Well, they are in a strong buying position, and this is the bit that I really enjoy.
The next day, Shane and Anna-Marie receive a telephone call regarding their offer.
Hello? Hello.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. OK, bye. Bye-bye.
Wow.
You're now a homeowner.
Fantastic.
The negotiation worked. They've got the house of their dreams for £850,000, exactly what they wanted to spend, and 45 grand under the asking price. What about Andrew and Emma? Any news?
They've left 635 grand on the table for the thatched cottage, and I've just had an interesting phone call.
Hello.
Hi, I've just been talking with the agent.
Oh, good, excellent.
The bad news is that the other people that viewed made a much higher offer.
OK.
But the good news is it hasn't been accepted because they are in a chain. And if you were to be able to put 5,000 extra, they would sell it to you.
OK. Well, I'm now in a position where I would be able to actually find that further 5.
Okay.
So I think that there's a deal, really.
Terrific.
Great.
I'll get on to it right now.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Brilliant. Ooh. I
That's
think
great.
I might...
You might cry. We'll have a new home. It's great.
You see, no chain, all gain.
However, less than 2 months later, Andrew felt compelled to make a U-turn.
Around the time that we were expecting to start completing, things started changing in the markets. It meant that I felt very insecure about proceeding with the purchase. So I decided that the best thing for us was that we pulled out of the sale.
It is a shame that Andrew and Emma chose not to buy the cottage, but thankfully our hard work was not entirely in vain.
Kirstie introduced us to Padbury as a possibility of somewhere to live. Once we'd seen it, we sort of fell in love with the village.
So the Jarvis family flew the nest of Emma's parents and found themselves a rental home in you know where.
I think we've been really lucky finding this place in Padbury, which we really can call home for the time being.
So a shift from the original plan, but a happy one nonetheless. For Shane and Anne-Marie, it was a different story. 5 months after we secured them the detached 5-bed house, they were all settled in and feeling the benefits.
This move has already changed their life. Everything was on hold. The kids are now in a position where I think they're a lot happier. I think we're a lot happier because it's more stable, we're going to be here for a number of years.
And even though it may be ideal now, Shane still hasn't curbed his enthusiasm for development.
We do want to change the garage into, let's say, more of a family room, taking down the wall between the kitchen and dining room to make it a larger space. We're looking at the attic in terms of maybe converting that at some point in the future as well.
And Anne-Marie is looking forward to putting down the roots she craved for her family.
It's a beautiful, beautiful area. The schools are great. It's a lovely, lovely community. Everybody's so friendly. You know, I really look forward to actually bringing them up here.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to a long, happy stay in this house.
All's well that ends well.